What's up, ass clowns? JJ back here this time again with Mangone, talking some PGA. This week's going to be the Memorial Open once again at Muirfield Village on July the 16th. We'll also recap last week before we dive into what we like in this one. Mangone, you got to be feeling pretty good about yourself right now, especially after how last week turned out.
Yeah, listen, no complaints. Got the Colin Morikawa bet in, cashed that ticket. Winner, Vegas Dave style. Whale winner. We're guaranteeing another one this week. No doubt, we will win another outright bet. No chance we lose. It's impossible.
Yeah, I mean, if I didn't know how sarcastic you naturally were, I'd probably punch you in the throat. But the fact that I do like the confidence, though. I can respect it. I mean, you did hit the Morikawa outright. And just to recap quickly as well, we had a few different plays last week. Mangone gave out the Cantley in 3-ball day one, which hit at plus 100. He lost the make the cut parlay with Koepka, banging him there. And then I won my Cantley top 20 at plus 100. I even said, if you really want to grab your nuts, bet him at to make the top 10. I think that was like plus 240. So that would have hit if you did that. But either way, the official plays totaled a little around 6.5 units into the positive, which puts the plays at about 6 units in total. I'll fully recap exacts once we get to 10 plays, because again, I usually like to create at least a little bit of a sample size before we start truly keeping everything tracked. But pretty good week last week, so looking to roll some of that again into this week. Now, they're playing at the exact same course again here, man. I know that they're talking about moving around tees, speeding up the greens with some type of magic, and changing up the driver locations as well. So going up from last week, is there any type of different approach you take into this week, or are you really looking for that strong iron play? And what are some of your targets, at least initially?
Yeah, definitely looking for the strong iron play. The ball striking, of course, right? I want guys that are going to be hitting very, very accurate because they're letting this grass grow, JJ. They're not caring. They're just saying we're going to let it grow and make it more difficult. So, no lawnmower coming out, no lawnmower 2.0 on Muirfield. It's going to be, the rough's going to be tough. And I want guys that are going to be accurate. The one thing I'll say is when I kind of look at the stats, a lot of people talked about last week, around the green game, you have to be good around the green. I disagree. I think you have to not be bad around the green. And let me explain, right? That just seems very simple. But I want guys that are going to, like, if you're ranked in like the field 75 in like the middle of the pack, I'm okay with you around the green. I don't think that's a big deal. I think the problem is when you got dudes that are ranked like 150th or 145th and around the green game, because then you can have blow-up holes, and we don't want blow-up holes. Those are a disaster. That's when you get, the double bogeys, the triple bogeys. That's what we're trying to really avoid. So you can get into some trouble here, right, if you're not accurate enough. They're not easy, but I want those guys that are going to be super accurate, and I want the guys that aren't going to give me blow-ups. That's kind of what I'm really, really looking at.
Yeah, it's a dangerous course. I mean, water everywhere. I feel like there's at least 6 or 7 holes with water. So last week, look, you did pretty well. The 3 outrights, right? Koepka, Rose, Morikawa, and 2 of them didn't make the cut, but that doesn't matter because the one of the 3 did win it in Morikawa. Now this week, just something I noticed. Obviously, Rose was 28-1 last week. Right now, seeing odds in the 60 neighborhood. How much does recency bias play into how you would handicap a tournament like this, back-to-back weeks, where just last week you were big into Rose? Do you look at this as now, hey, look, maybe he's just not in the form I expected him to be in, and now you're off him? Or do you look at it like, well, now he's double the odds that he was last week, just call it a bad week, an anomaly, if you will, and that's something you're going to want to target?
I will say, man, it hurt my feelings. I had friends telling me Rose sucks, Rose is terrible. Man, like, I get it. It was not a fun time with Justin Rose. My concern with Justin Rose is it's been 2 bad weeks, and he had that club change, and he looked great right after the club change, but I don't know if something's up. He's been very up and down this year. If you're like a value golf bettor, and that's what you kind of preach and do, like, there's value here. I totally get it. I said it in one of our golf chats. You know what Big T said? He says, I wouldn't take Rose at 155-1. That's such a Big T comment. Like, let's slow the break there. But there's certainly value in him. And Brooks is the same way. And Brooks's line has been going down. And by down, I mean the other way, right? It was, I think earlier in the week is at like 20-1 maybe, or maybe in like the lower 20s. And now I saw him at 28-1. If you're going to bet like a guy like Brooks or even Rose, you can certainly wait. I really think you can just like wait on this number and for it to go up if that's what you want to do. I considered putting Brooks in my card. He showed me enough last week where I wasn't too concerned, but I'm going to stay away from Brooks on outright. Not for me this week, but I'll probably have a little bit in DFS for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, I like that. Look, at the end of the day, every tournament's different, right? Like, what you could consider value one week is not that the next week. So I can definitely relate to that, and you not wanting to be on Rose or Koepka this week, could definitely make sense. I mean, look, they definitely got themselves into plenty of jams last week. So I can definitely understand that now. Who are some guys you're targeting in some outrights this week? If you pick a few guys to total out 1 unit on those plays, who are the guys you like?
All right, so I made one bet already. I got him at 50 to 1 on Bet365. Now he's 45 to 1, but over on DK, you can still get him at that 50 to 1 price. Abraham Answer. He's one guy I'm going to be all over this week. Again, like I talked about, I want these very accurate guys, right? The Colin Morikawas. JT is a very accurate guy. Hovland's been really good in accuracy. Abraham Answer is that guy. If you look at his last 36 rounds, I mean, it's been absolutely incredible what he's been doing. I make a model every week, and in the model, he's 8th in my model. And if you look, the ball striking, he's 6th in his last 36 rounds. His tee to green game, that is 6th as well. The approach is 8th. On par fours, he's 9th. I mean, all the stuff I'm looking at, I mean, the rankings are just through the roof. It's amazing. So around the green is the one concern, right? It's 80th. It's obviously not the best. I even dug through the data, JJ, and I was like, let me see if the around the green game is just maybe it's like a joke, right? Maybe it's not something that's something I want to look at. But the more I dove in, his around the green game in the past was like ranked 100th, and post-quarantine ended up being in 62nd. He's been really good post-quarantine. Victor Hovland's another guy, great post-quarantine. He's a guy that I think has really turned his game around, Hovland and Answer. I think both those guys have turned it around completely, and they're just the better players than they were pre-quarantine. So I'm buying in on Answer. Love him a lot here. He's going to be one of my outright bets. I'm going to put 0.25 units on that. Also, I got Xander Schauffele. I like him a lot here. 28 to 1. I'm going to put 0.3 units there. Reason why I like Xander, it's pretty simple. Accuracy is really good. He grades out really well for this course. Yes, he made the cut on the number last week, and it wasn't the best, but getting a second shot at it is always good. I think being able to see it twice is a great thing. And on top of that, Xander always shows up at these bigger events. He hasn't shown up at the majors as much, but these big events with big players, he has shown up a ton. I think this is one he can win, and he was close to winning only 4 weeks ago, right? Maybe he got that monkey off his back from that choke situation, but I'm back in on Xander at 28 to 1. I'm also going to Hovland. I talked about him before. He's been incredible. He hasn't gained strokes at all. Every single game, every single round he's played, he has not shot over par. He has been absolutely incredible. His tee to green game is unstoppable right now. Yeah, sure. It's a guy who just got 3rd place, right? But I feel like that may have helped him, right? Get the monkey off his back. He's a young guy. Being in those contention spots can be difficult. So I'm on Hovland at 22 to 1, buying in. And then the last guy I'm going to go, actually, Hovland, real quick, just want to say it's 0.3 units. So we've given out 0.85 units, and we got 0.15 left to give. So we're going to give that to Sergio Garcia. 80 to 1, really good long shot. Everything is perfect for him. If you look at all of his stats, around the green game is good. Ball striking is good. Everything's good. His one issue he has, the only issue is his freaking putting has been horrific. I mean, so bad. Last 36 rounds, he's 120th in putting. That's the one concern. If the putting turns, he could have a monster. Sergio, he's a guy I love in tournaments, and he's a guy that I'm betting outright for 0.15 units at 80 to 1.
Yeah, I love it. And thanks for the breakdowns as well. So, I think so you have Xander, Hovland as your two biggies, and then Sergio, and who am I missing as that 4th one?
Answer. So Answer's like my middle guy, 50 to 1, and then Sergio 80 to 1.
Yeah, so I mean, I like to give you a little mix, spread the units out as well. And that's what you need. You need multiple tickets in your hand if you're going to try to at least somewhat have some consistency with outrights. Now, for me. Now, last week I went Cantley top 20, which hit, and then the week before I gave you guys Stewart over Hoge as well, which hit. Now, this week, I could go right back to the Cantley well, but ultimately I'm a little. I have my own concerns there because this talent pool is a lot better. We didn't really touch on that much, Mangone, but this talent pool this week is a lot better than what was there last week. So I'm not a big fan of the top 20 for him this week. What I am a big fan of though is John Ram over Webb Simpson. So Ram. Obviously was just here playing this course. Webb Simpson was not, and Ram. What I saw was a lot of setups for birdies for him in that tournament. And his score didn't end up that well, especially with his bad last day. Might leave in a bad taste in some people's mouth, but he played this course very well, set himself up for a lot of birdies, just didn't come through. He can be quite a tilting player to watch. But man, when his game's on, if he can just get those putts down, it just feels like he's ready for a breakout. Only got to beat Webb Simpson here in a head-to-head now. I like Ram basically better than anybody except Bryson, JT, or Cantley. So if you have matchups that don't involve those guys, you can at least take Ram and know that I'm okay with it. But again, for me, it's going to be Ram over Simpson, -115, DK, New Jersey. Now, Mangone, you have one more bet, right?
Oh yeah, I got two more. Real quick, I just want to say, like the John Ram call. Like, if you're a John Ram slappy, like go ahead and bet him outright if you want. There's been some pretty good numbers on him. I don't hate it, but again, not a guy that I'm betting on mine, and I'm still torn what to do with him in DFS because that price is really good. But yeah, I have two bets here. I'm going to give you, again, we're going to go back to Honest Abe, right? Can't let us down here on the first round 3-ball bet. Actually, it's a 2-ball, sorry, on DraftKings. What we have is we have Answer -125 versus Matthew Wolff. Listen, man, like Matthew Wolff, he was great. You know, he was a hero for the Run Pure Sports community, but he's not the guy Abraham Answer is. I know, obviously, you're laying 25 cents juice. On top of that, if you do push, right, let's say that Answer goes even and so does Matthew Wolff, you'll lose. It's +800 for the tie. You know, it stinks, right? It's like with the roulette wheel when it lands on green. Let's hope it doesn't land on green. That's what we're really hoping for here. So I think Answer is in a good spot, though, -125. Love it. I think he could absolutely dominate. So, yeah, like that spot for the first round bet over on DraftKings. And then, hey, 3 guys we already mentioned here, we're going to put in our Make the Cut bet. JJ. So we're going to Bet365 where you can make these make the cut parlays. And it hasn't been so great for us, but we are going to keep firing. We're going to keep going with this. There's a reason other books don't want you to use this, bettings, right? It's something we can take advantage of. So we're going to try and take advantage of it here. I got another -134 for you guys. We're only taking 3 golfers. We're taking, again, Abraham Answer, I talked up him a ton. We're taking Victor Hovland, already talked him up a ton. And then the last guy we're throwing in there, Patrick Cantley. We mentioned it for a ton of reasons, but one thing I want to say is every single round he's played, he has gained strokes. He has been phenomenal. He's been so good on this course. The safety with Patrick Cantley, I just can't get away from it. So to make the cut, we got Cantley, we got Hovland, we got Answer, and it's -134. All of them parlayed at Bet365.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's ultimately a total of between both of us, 4 total bets, and then a bunch of outrights, right? So just a lot of good action here. I know we didn't touch much on Tiger making his return here. Any comments there, man, going at all? Any love or hate or just indifferent there?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Tiger was great when I was a kid, but like I kind of made a rule when he first came back. I was like, if this dude's gonna always be super high owned in DFS, I'm out. See you later. I'm not playing. So yeah, I haven't played him once in DFS since he's came back, and don't plan on it until he's ever like really low owned. His number is interesting. I'm surprised it's 28-1. I thought they would maybe put him in the teens just because they know they'll get Tiger money. So I thought that was pretty interesting, but I will pass on Tiger. I'm definitely someone that likes to see how guys play. I like to get the recent form. I value that a ton. So yeah, that's my kind of take on Tiger.
Yeah, can't blame you there. Okay, so thanks again, guys, for watching. Tomorrow, Jay and the crew will be back with a live show. I'm gonna pop in as well. There's going to be there's an all-star race in NASCAR. There's a big MMA card. It's going to be a live sweat show where they're going to give out a bunch of bets. So definitely come on in and join the fun. And yeah, guys, look, like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you did not like the video, I hope somebody takes a shit in your mailbox. But as always, thanks again for watching. And we will all be back soon. Stay safe, everyone.